Hi, I'm Jackie from Enroll Yoga. This is an Iyengar style traditional yoga sequence to grow taller after the age of 40. It is possible if you're a bit stiff, you haven't done much stretching and you sit too much and your posture's not great, it is possible to get taller after 40 with a bit of effort. The best thing about this exercise video is you feel so relaxed after, you feel stretched, you actually feel straighter. And if you're already in great condition, then keep doing it so you're always in good condition and you're not really short and hunched when you're old. So look after yourself, enjoy how you feel. Thank you. You'll need a solid chair for some of the exercises we'll be doing. It is possible to gain height after 40 if you do these exercises regularly, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. So first, the most important one of all is be more aware of your posture and have good posture most of the time, and don't sit too long for long periods of time. So break up sitting with some of the exercises you'll learn in all my videos. So we all know what bad posture is, so deliberately do that. And you can see you lose a lot of height there, and then your body gets stuck there, and then the discs degenerate more, and then you end up here, and then you end up here. So don't let that happen. So let's work on the best exercises to straighten your spine and lengthen your spine and prevent getting shorter as we're older and maybe gaining height if you already are a little bit rounded. So aware of your posture most of the time, keeping your head on top of the spine and don't let your shoulders pull forward. This is the best exercise you could ever do to correct a rounded posture or sitting at the desk too much. So first, elbows in back pockets. So imagine you've got pockets and you're trying to get your elbows and put them into your back pockets. And I want you to, and then release. Do that again. Pause. Elbows in back pockets. Release. I want you to feel these muscles around here, the middle trapezius area. And then at the same time as you do that, I want you to also, this is another incredibly good one on its own, but you can do them together, pull your head back. And when I say head back, let's do that on its own, not like that, not head back like that. Head back like, straight back like that. And also, another thing, the lower front ribs here, this is what I see people doing, going like this. I want the lower front ribs to pull in and your head to pull back at the same time as you're putting elbows in your back pockets. This is quite tricky to do all these things, 3 things, but there's one more, there's a 4th thing, posterior tilt. So what I mean by that, just watch what not to do. That's anterior, see my pelvis? Anterior pelvic tilt, that is. So I see people doing that to compensate for being too stiff in their chest and too weak in their back. So posterior tilt is that, pubic bone towards breastbone. So as you try to put elbows in imaginary back pockets, I just noticed my head was forward. So I had to correct I'm a yoga teacher and I need to correct my posture constantly. So you're trying to get elbows in back pockets, head back, posterior pelvic tilt, lower front ribs in, tops of the shoulders down. And if you're trying to put elbows down, that will pull the tops of the shoulders down. So, and this, it's just incredibly good. If you just let the lower ribs jut out, you can get that lower back or that middle back tension. And no one wants that. So if you squeeze the lower ribs in, it sort of activates the muscles in the front and you're slightly posterior tilting. And that will relax the muscles at the back a little bit. So the posterior tilt with the squeeze the lower ribs in is really good to add on to this exercise, elbows in back pockets, which is one of the best postural correction. So if you know you're a bit rounded or you just do sit at the desk all day, do this every day and get the dose right. So you might need 5 of them every hour, or maybe 10 of them once a day. I don't know. You've got to get it right for your body and what you need. So if you're here, I reckon you'd need to do it every day for, twice a day to correct. So standing with good posture again. Hope you feel already a little bit more open, a bit more lift through your chest. Don't jut out the lower ribs. Feel as though there's a rope connected to the top of the spine pulling up. Okay, another important exercise is not letting your waist get stiff. So this is called triangle pose in yoga. It's great with a chair for beginners. So see how I've got one leg, foot turned out there, the other foot slightly turned in. Just got my hand there, my other hand on my hip, and I'm trying to sort of straighten. It's good if you've got a mirror that you can see, or go to a teacher and they will correct your posture, especially an Iyengar Yoga teacher. They'll be very strict with you. So trying to lengthen, and you should feel a little stretch in the side. So if you're more flexible, you can put the hand on the leg. But most people round out and they come out of alignment. So that's why the chair's great for this one. And traditionally you bring the arm up and you look up. It's a great stretch. Switch on your core to lift out and turn around and do the other side. So the toes are turned out. Normally I don't like my back to my students, but really I can't see you anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it, on YouTube? So trying to get that front foot turned out, the back foot turned in. It's good to have a yoga mat, a sticky mat, and just feeling the length through the side. You're trying to straighten out both sides. So if your waist gets shorter as you get older, if you don't stretch coming out of the pose, then it pulls you in this direction and compresses your lower back, and then you get shorter. So if your waist is a bit short because you haven't stretched, lengthening your waist regularly will straighten out your whole posture and you'll grow taller. Okay, so the next one is called half forward bend. So you can use the wall, a chair. This window ledge would work, but you might have a window ledge, kitchen bench, the wall, a chair, but make sure the chair's got quite a high back. So see what I'm doing here? Feet parallel. I'm spreading my toes as well while I'm here. And I'm trying to reach my tailbone towards the wall behind and the crown of the head towards the wall in front. It's so good, this one as well. So you're trying to really lengthen, and you might feel a bit of a stretch in the armpit chest area, which is those muscles that get tight from having a little bit rounded posture. So this one is so good. It's in all my videos, or not all of them, but nearly all of them. Okay, so weave that into your day. Okay, the other one, turn your chair around like this. This is for bone density because we're balancing on one leg. And also, as we're doing that, we're going to rotate to keep the thoracic spine free so it doesn't get stiff like that. So if you keep the thoracic spine looser, then you're less likely to have a rounded posture. And also if you have good bone density, so plenty of weight-bearing exercise and balancing exercises, plenty of yoga, then your bones are important to your height, and especially in your spine. We'll do one in a moment for our lower back, bone density, and then the other foot, and we're adding on a spinal rotation. So make sure you're safe. You might need the wall some of you might need the wall near you. Don't fall over. Shoulders down. Actively reach the crown of the head up. Tops the shoulders down. Elbows in the back pockets, or shoulder blades in the back pockets, I should say, for this one. Final exhalation. Back to this one. Okay, and I'll show you the next one. I call it up dog, down dog on the chair, but I'll show you it on the floor as well. But just watch me on the chair. Make sure the chair is solid. Okay, and have a look at this one. So you stretch the front. Don't let the belly get stiff. Don't let the neck or the chest get stiff. You're using your arm muscles. And then back to here. It's not down dog, but it's a forward stretch, and it lengthens our spine and the back of the legs. So do that about 8 times, and you add on breathing. Inhale as you look up, and then exhale. And that's easier on the wrists and shoulders with the chair. But some of you are used to this. You can do it on the floor, which is like I'm doing here. And some of you, that will be okay. If you've done more yoga, maybe that feels okay. You can have a go. But no rush. The chair will do the job. And if your belly gets stiff, then your lower back gets stiff and it pulls you into that rounded posture. So don't let your belly get stiff. Don't let your waist get stiff. Don't let your shoulders get stiff. Flexibility is actually important for height and slowing down degenerative changes. Okay, we've got another one. So important as well. Your hip flexors, these are the muscles here. So if you do a lot of exercise or just a lot of sitting, they get tight and they pull you in this direction as well. So don't let that happen. So this is a lunge, and I'm not worrying about balancing. So I've just got my hands there. But some of you might balance like this, or you might bring your arms up. But if you're a beginner, just keep the hands on the chair. Posterior tilt. So you've learnt that, pubic bone towards breastbone. You get a bit more stretch in the hip flexors and a bit more length in the lower back. So make sure you can feel this stretch and do that regularly. It's an important one for posture as well. Other side, it's called a lunge, posterior tilt, and do whatever you like with your arms. I quite like different arm variations. But if you're a beginner, I'll just have your hands on your chair and you just work on the stretch. Don't worry about balance. Okay, and one more standing one is for the arches of our feet. And because if they get flat and they collapse, we do lose height, and it is actually connected to our pelvic floors, our spine, everything's connected. It's just called heel raises or calf raises. So see how I'm just lifting my heels up and down, up, and just keeping my feet strong, the arches of the feet. You might have hands on the chair, keeping strong arches, strong toes, strong feet, strong calf muscles and ankles, and just work on your whole body strength. You know how important it is, and your whole body flexibility. If you want to gain a bit of height, if you've already got amazing posture, you've always done yoga, had a healthy diet, you're really not going to grow taller after 24. But if you have sat too much, you haven't stretched, you're a bit stiff, then you actually can gain height. And then if you don't want to do downward dog, you can have hands back on the chair. Otherwise, this is downward dog, so whichever you prefer to do. Downward dog's great to lengthen the calf muscles, which is also important, and the hamstrings and the spine, and keep your shoulders strong and good blood flow to the brain. That's very important. And actually, if you have better posture and you don't sit too much, and you stretch and exercise a lot, you actually have better blood flow to the brain, so slowing down aging in the brain. And everything's connected. And good posture, you have better energy, you have better mood, you feel more positive, you feel more confident, you look younger, and you can grow taller or not shrink so much. Now the last one you might feel is not doing that much, but it's doing a lot. This one, you're lying on your back. In yoga it's called corpse pose or shavasana. So your palms are up, and people whose necks are arched, something under your head. If your back feels uncomfortable, something under your knees, like a pillow. And if it's cold, put a blanket over you. And I'm just going to lie here for a few minutes and take some slow, deep breaths in and out through our nose. At least 5 counts in, 5 counts out is going to have an effect on your brain and heart and your whole body. So why this is good for your spine, for your body, for your height, is anything that relaxes you, and especially taking the weight of gravity and sitting off your spine. The discs plump up a bit, and stretching does that as well. So the discs get a little bit more plump. They actually get thinner throughout the day, and you are a bit taller in the morning. But also they've done a few studies, you're actually taller after a yoga class or a good stretch. And you also, in the middle of the day, I'm lying here and my discs are soaking up a little bit of fluid just by lying in this pose. So I'm going to be a touch taller because it's the middle of the day here and than I was before, and so will you, unless it's the morning, because you are a bit taller in the morning, although the muscles are stiffer, so you might have lengthened some muscles. If you need a bit longer to stay a bit longer, it's nice to have 5, 10, maybe even 20 minutes in this pose. Just try to keep bringing your attention back when your mind wanders and just focusing on your breath in and out. Otherwise, if you feel like that's enough for you today, if you feel relaxed and calm, the job is done. So ease your back out of the pose because your back muscles have gone into low tone, so you don't jerk. You don't want your back to tense up. So you bring your knees in, roll to the side. I've got so many good videos for you, and it's all about being 15 years younger, which is possible if you put in the effort, not chronologically. You want to have a birthday every year, but biologically, or your cells or your joints or your body, your brain, your heart can be 15 years younger. Some people say 20 years. I'm going for 15. If I get 10, I'll be happy with that too. The hard part is the alcohol. Not drinking so much alcohol is the hardest part. Anyway, thank you. I hope you're getting lots of value out of the videos, and press subscribe. And if you become a patron, I'll send you recordings of my live classes, or you can actually attend my live classes as well. So you will love that. They're 60 or 70 minutes as well, so you get that much more benefit in your body. Have a good day.